Hi, I'm Peter Spencer and welcome to the 21-Day Millionaire Mindset Challenge. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the topic of change. Now, let me tell you up front, I am not a change guru, but I do help people change. Over the years, I've helped hundreds of people build multi-million-dollar property portfolios. I'm from the north of England, right? And where I'm from, it's a working class background. My parents didn't even own a house, never mind have lots of them. We British are not well known for our ability to change, but when I moved to Australia, I had to change because I wanted to become wealthy. So change was a necessity for me. Now I've learned that change is the only constant. You can guarantee it. Change will occur. So life will be damn sight easier and a whole lot better if you learn how to embrace the change. Some of this talk is going to be interactive, so please have a pen and paper ready. When you see the sign, be ready to write something down. Don't think too hard about what you're about to write. It's not a test, but the notes will help you remember the more important points of this talk. Charles Darwin tells us it's not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but the ones that are most responsive to change. We seem to have a natural resistance to change, or we think it's too hard. We get set in our ways. So many of us want some sort of change. The need or want for change may be health, wealth, happiness, social standing, I don't know, it could be even your personal appearance. It might seem obvious that any change has to start with a thought, an idea or a need, and then followed by action. But change doesn't always present itself that way, especially when it's accompanied by adversity. Sometimes things can be thrust upon us and we have no option but to change. Then it comes down to how we react to the challenge of the change. I know change can be difficult, but if we apply some simple exercises, we can embrace the challenges of change like we never have done before. I've learned there are 3 C's of change, which is just my opinion, really. Choice, chance, and crisis. Let me talk about choice first. It's safe to say that we all have choices in our life, whether they're big or small. It's often the small changes in our life, that the fine-tuning that make the big difference. For example, if we take 1 less sugar in our morning coffee every day, that's 1.8 kilos of sugar a year. Can you imagine the compound effect of that on our health over 2 years? Apparently Coca-Cola has 10 spoons of sugar in every bottle. Please imagine the compound effect of cutting out Coke from your eating plan. Chance, let's talk about chance. Chance comes in many disguises. Some call it luck, good luck or bad luck. I personally don't like using the word luck. It always seems to be attributed to something else. For example, bad luck. I see people use that phrase as a blaming tool, and it's usually connected to some misadventure or misfortune. There seems to be no personal responsibility connected with bad luck. Good luck, on the other hand, seems to suggest you had nothing to do with good fortune or your great efforts. I have not been lucky in life, but I've been extremely fortunate. Try to stop using the word luck for 7 days and see how much more positive and responsible your vocabulary becomes. The fact is, not many changes are going to happen in your life by chance. Let's talk about crisis. Again, this could be thrust upon us from any direction. However, I'm sure that some of the crises in our lives could have been avoided. Think about some of the crises you came up with the last couple of days and how, with a bit of forethought or planning, it could have been avoided. An example of crisis could be an obese individual who smokes and receives a stern warning from his doctor. If you don't stop smoking and drinking Coca-Cola, you could die prematurely. Change would come rapidly for that individual, one hopes. Of those 3, the one I like the best is choice, because it's the one we have the most control over. Okay, why change? Normally, it's to make some improvement in our life. But remember, you are the only thing preventing you from changing. The ball is always in your court. Take charge now and don't put it off till tomorrow. Now, I want to share with you the tools and steps that I've used to affect change in my world. I'm sure they'll work for you as well. There are 10 steps, and the first one is a change affirmation. Yep, I have changed, I can change. Now this is not baloney, you have changed. You can change. Imagine this. You're on a plane to Bali. Even if you've been several times before, you are thinking beaches, nice hotel. But when you get there, the environment is totally different from your everyday comfort zone and attachments. It might be raining. There are thousands of passengers. They're all running around. And you're thinking, where's my bag? Where's my taxi? The money is different. Is everything sanitary? The shopping is different. It's a bartering system. The smell has an impact on you. It's warm, it's humid. But do you adapt to circumstantial differences? Yep, no worries. You can change. Back yourself. Change is a commitment. Commit to change. Number 2, know what you want and why. Identify the problem or the need and write it down. It's no use to saying, I wish things were better. You have to leave the baggage behind. Identify it, leave it behind. Number 3, write down something small that you would like to change in your life right now. If it's a bad habit, think what life would be like not having that habit. Would your life be better? Would your relationship be better? Would your health be better? Is the why and the new you more important than the bad habit? Number 4, set the goal, long and short term. Write them down and look at them daily. Imagine what the new you or the outcome of the change would be. Visualize it, smell it, live in that world for just a minute. Even as often as you can, even if for 10 seconds. Let me just say something before we go any further. Expect turbulence. Crap happens. The path to change is going to be plagued with obstacles. Even people trying to bog you down. The speed bumps in the road that are just minor setbacks can be overcome if you don't stress about it. Stay realistic. It's the best way to tackle any daunting problem. Don't blame yourself or others for keeping you from getting to your goal. Setbacks are normal in life. They'll happen. Number 5, circle of influence. Now, this is not mine. Jim Rohn says you will become the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So have a look who you're hanging around with right now. Are they allowing you to change or holding you back? You may have to look at that. Number 6, try not to change too many things at the same time. One change at a time will be fine. It can make a big difference. Number 7, don't try and change the big things first. Start with easy, small steps until your psyche can cope with adjustment. You have to prepare your brain. Bringing us on to number 8. Your brain has been trained one way and now it's time to train it another. This might sound crazy, but you train your body for an event. You can train your mindset to accept change. Number 9. Don't rush it. Change rarely happens overnight. Some of the things we might want to change have been with us a long time. If it's a habit you want to change, it's going to take you at least 21 days. You will need to replace that habit with a new one and practice it for 21 days. Trust me, the old one will have gone. Number 10, and probably the most important, take action. And test yourself, whether it's changing your sock drawer with your underwear drawer or sleeping on the other side of the bed. Get used to that, then go for the big challenges. If it's great wealth you want, you have to practice the small changes first. So that's my 10 points for change. I hope you've written them down, and if not, why not? Change is inevitable. It's the only constant besides death and taxes. So remember, you have changed. Since you were a little child to the person you are now, the changes have been enormous. So go with the flow, allow yourself to change. It's okay. Learn how to cope with the small changes that happen every day and embrace them. And the big changes will become easier. I'm Peter Spencer, founder of the Australian Property Panel. I hope you got something from what I had to say today about change. I want you to be positive, back yourself, and stay well.